Slacker's time-traveling comedy of literary nightmares. The alarm clock of doom. In the farthest reaches of a universe, where the laws of time and space are as flexible as a rubber band on a hot day, lies a peculiar little device known simply as the alarm clock of doom. This unassuming timepiece, adorned with a gaudy shade of purple and a sticker that reads Nightmare Edition, is less of a timekeeper and more of a cosmic prankster. The moment our slacker hero, Slack, accidentally hits the snooze button while trying to silence its relentless beeping, he finds himself not just late for work, but also hurtling to the very fabric of time itself. Talk about an overreaction to a Monday morning. Slack's first stop? The shadowy back alleys of Victorian London, where he stumbles upon none other than Jack the Ripper himself, who, as it turns out, has a bit of a soft spot for bad puns. "I'm just dying to meet you," Jack quips, brandishing his knife with a flourish that suggests he's more interested in witty repartee than actual mayhem. Still groggy and half asleep, Slack mistakes the Ripper's enthusiasm for a friendly invitation to a coffee date. "Can I get my cappuccino with a side of existential dread?" he quips back, completely oblivious of the fact that he's flirting with a serial killer. Who knew time travel could lead to such a peculiar form of social interaction? Just as Jack is about to carve an unforgettable impression on Slack's morning, the alarm clock of doom chimes again, whisking him away to the next literary nightmare, a fog-laden castle where Frankenstein's monster is desperately trying to host a dinner party. Slack arrives just in time to witness the creature's awkward attempts to impress his guests, who are more interested in their smartphones and an electrifying ambience. "I swear, I just need to find a good recipe for souffle," the monster grumbles, clearly more distressed about his culinary skills and his tragic existence. Ever the slacker, Slack suggests a bring-your-own-snacks policy, causing the monster to raise an eyebrow, which is quite the feat considering he has only one functioning eye. The clock strikes once more, and suddenly, Slack is face-to-face with Dracula, who, in a shocking twist, has traded in his cape for a Hawaiian shirt and is attempting to run a vacation resort for the undead. "Welcome to the castle of eternal sunshine," Dracula exclaims, his fangs glinting in the tropical sun. Slack, now fully embracing the absurdity of the situation, responds, "Do you have any activities for the undead who prefer sunbathing over blood-sucking?" But before Dracula can respond, the alarm clock of doom interrupts their hilarity, sending Slack spiraling into yet another chaotic era, leaving behind a confused Count who's left contemplating his life choices. Finally, the clock brings Slack to the lair of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where he finds the duo engaged in a heated debate about the merits of self-care versus the art of villainy. It's all about balance, Dr. Jekyll insists, while Mr. Hyde grumbles about the societal pressures that come with being a misunderstood antihero. Slack, ever the slacker, chimes in with an unsolicited suggestion. Why not just embrace the chaos? I mean, who needs a well-structured life when you can have spontaneous adventures? The two men stare at him, simultaneously intrigued and horrified, as the alarm clock of doom rings one last time, yanking Slack back to his own time, leaving behind a legacy of confusion and laughter. As he stumbles out of bed, the clock remains, its sinister laughter echoing to the halls of literary history, reminding us all that even the most ridiculous adventures can begin with just one dreadful alarm. A time travel device? Really? So, you've stumbled upon this subchapter titled, "A Time Travel Device? Really?" And you're likely wondering if it's just another one of those overhyped gadgets that promise the world but deliver nothing more than a pair of mismatched socks. Well, let's just say that our protagonist, a slacker of the finest order, found himself in possession of what could only be described as a glorified toaster with delusions of grandeur. This contraption, which his eccentric uncle claimed was a time travel device, looked suspiciously like a device meant for warming bagels. But hey, if it could whisk him away to the past, who was he to judge? After a few half-hearted attempts at deciphering the user manual, which was written in a language that seemed to be a mix of hieroglyphics and weekend instructions for assembling IKEA furniture, Slack decided to give it a whirl. He pressed a button, and instead of the usual pop-up toast, he was greeted with a blinding flash and the overwhelming smell of burnt bread. The next thing he knew, he was standing in a foggy Victorian alley, where the only thing more alarming than the smell of cabbage was the sight of a top-hatted gentleman holding a bloody knife. Welcome to the world of Jack the Ripper, where the ambience was as inviting as a dentist's waiting room. Now, one might think that time travel to such a thrilling period would be an exhilarating experience. Still, Slack had a knack for turning every opportunity into a comedic disaster. Instead of mingling with the literary greats or charming the pants off Dracula, he accidentally spilled tea on the Ripper, which resulted in a rather unfortunate misunderstanding. The notorious killer, clearly not a fan of English breakfast, mistook our hero for a rival, leading to a mad dash through the foggy streets. Nothing like a little historical chaos to put a damper on one's leisurely time-traveling adventure, as if narrowly escaping a brush with history's most infamous murderer was enough. Slack soon found himself in the company of none other than Frankenstein's monster, who was having a bit of an identity crisis. Am I the monster, or is it society that's monstrous? The creature mused while our hero awkwardly sipped from a flask filled with questionable liquid. The existential conversation quickly devolved into a debate about the best way to roast marshmallows over a laboratory fire, proving once again that even the most dramatic figures from classic literature can have a sense of humor, especially when it comes to dessert. By the end of this whirlwind jaunt through time, our slacker learned that while a time travel device may promise adventure, often delivers a series of unfortunate and hilariously awkward encounters. Between dodging the Ripper, philosophizing with a misunderstood monster, and attempting not to turn into an accidental mummy-wrapping expert, our protagonist discovered that sometimes the best times are those spent in the absurdity of it all. And let's be honest, what's a little time travel if you can't laugh at the literary nightmares you face along the way? Well, that was the end of Chapter 1. Chapter entitled Unpacking the Time Machine. So stay tuned, I promise. Lee Bynes, aka Slacker,